Couples always want to know, how do they negotiate with their wedding vendors? What's the best way to do so? And we actually have some pretty strong opinions on that. I'd like to preface with one thing before we dive into that. There is this misconception in the industry that if you go to a vendor and you say you're having a wedding, they are gonna quote you higher than if, say, you're having a birthday party or something else. And that always just rubs me the wrong way, because you can't compare a wedding to a birthday party, right? We're talking a 14, 15-hour day with a wedding, and a birthday party might be a 1-2 hour affair with some setup and load in, but a wedding is a 5 to 6 hour affair with setup and pre and post, and it's a lot of hours. So this whole thing, if you say you're having a wedding, vendors will quote you more. Well, some vendors, like wedding planners, photographers, videographers, people who are putting in many more hours, yes, will probably quote you more for a wedding than a birthday party. Where that does come into play is if you're renting chairs, the chairs should cost the same, whether it's a birthday party, a wedding, whatever, because the product does not change. So I just wanted to, talk about that misconception a little bit, because it bugs me, and I feel like it always comes into play when it comes to negotiation and vendor pricing. So back to the topic. Transparency. One of the best ways you can negotiate with your vendors is being open and transparent. And we have 3 tips we'll jump into.
And I think that these work all the time. It's the best way to roll, not only wedding planning, but in life too. But this video is not about life. It's about wedding planning.
Wedding planning is life.
It's life. So be nice, be honest, and know your budget. If you roll with those 3 things and kind of take them through your wedding planning, I know things are going to work out great. So be nice, be honest, and know your budget.
Okay, and this is my story behind it. And
Here
I say it
she
all the
goes.
time. I know, full of stories. Well, so when I worked at the hotel, I would have nice clients, I would have not so nice clients. And I gotta tell you, a lot of times you have certain flexibility you can function within. Whether you have your own business, whether you work in a hotel or a venue, depending on the season and time of year, there's some give and take, right? You can give more discounts, less discounts, depending on the time of year. And when a couple would come to me and be nice and had good rapport and seemed to be caring, we could work together, I'd bust my butt to get them the penthouse suite if I could, the best suite in the hotel. I'd work with them on the food and beverage minimums. I might waive this fee or that, just because they're nice. Right. And they would not only be nice, but they'd be like, Lauren, look, my food and beverage budget, I'm over by $500 or whatever it may be. Can you work with me? And sometimes it was a give and take. Sometimes I'd be like, I can help you, but you need to switch out that steak entree for a salmon entree, and then I can cut some costs for you and I can give you a better discount. Or think about a Friday night instead of a Saturday night. And having those really honest, open conversations helped me help them. And I wanted to help them because I was invested, I cared, I wanted to book them, and they were nice. And on the flip side, I go on and on, I know. But I had some clients that were not so nice, and they would just ask for more, and they were not very kind. And they wanted better wines, and they wanted more. And you know what? Maybe I could have done more, but I said no. I said no because I have a lot of clients, a lot of people at that time, and you do hard work for these couples, and not being nice doesn't incentivize people to want to help you. So I don't know, it is a life lesson too.
It's a life lesson, but I also want to throw in, sometimes it's best to just pick up the call and have that personal touch and that personal call and talk through things. Some things are called, not an email or a text.
Or an in-person meeting.
Right, or an in-person meeting. You can't hear a tone in text and email. So be yourself, be nice, pick up the phone, have that in-person meeting, and I think it goes a long way with that personal connection.
It does. And again, you can go in and walk into a room or a meeting knowing you want to negotiate, knowing I really need to save $200, $300, $400 here. But go into those negotiation meetings knowing your budget too. Don't walk in just being like, I need a better discount. Give me a better discount. I need to save money. Go in knowing, okay, I need to save $500, or maybe you play a little game where the goal is to save $500 and you're like, well, I need to save $700, and maybe they meet you in the middle. Know your numbers too. There's no point in negotiating and starting those talks if you don't even know what you need to hit. And that's a tough thing too. So I think that's why we talk about transparency and honesty really gets you closer to getting what you want and making everyone happy.
So on an ending note, we will say it one more time. Be nice, be honest, know your budget, and start with the wedding course to help you.
Yes, we actually do in the wedding course, we have a download that gives all of our suggested questions to negotiate with each type of vendor. And it's really helpful because there's different points of negotiation based on each vendor. So we do break that all down in the wedding course. Check out theweddingcourse.com if you want that information, as well as so much more to help you plan your wedding day seamlessly and without stress. And I can't forget to mention, if you want more planning tips, don't forget to subscribe to the wedding course. We are constantly dropping new videos and information that'll help you on your planning.
Happy planning, everyone.